Oh my gosh, folks, I did not think that today would be a Grail day. Oh my gosh. All right, folks, here we are, pawn shop number 1 of the day, video game cupboard. Let's see, anything, mostly sports games looks like. Thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this video. Not seeing a ton of interest, although it does look like this Michael Phelps game is sealed. I'm on a mission right now to find underpriced games to flip to add to my budget for Switch games. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like even in brand new condition, Michael Phelps would not bring a whole lot of money. So unfortunately, no game flips to be found in Volunteer Pawn today. I'm actually on my way to the Southeast Game Exchange video game convention. It's my favorite video game convention of the whole year. There are going to be tons of Switch games there, so I want to build up a little bit of a budget if I can before we get there. The problem is, I'm in Johnson City, Tennessee right now, and their pawn shops and video game stores are few and far between. I've got 62 games left on my Switch list and $0 in the Switch fund, folks. This is Mission Switch. Question. On some of these older ones, it looks like there aren't price tags. Were they just standard pricing on those, or do you know?
Some of the old school stuff I researched.
All right, so for the most part, I'm not seeing anything like crazy in here. I did find a few things that are worth something though. This Miss Pac-Man should go for like 10 after fees. Xena is worth like 26. And then this one, Jurassic Park, is going for like 35 after fees on Amazon right now. So I'm gonna have to take these up to him to research and see what kind of a price he actually gives.
Okay, yeah, I'll just put the prices here, and if you're interested,
sure.
Yes, if not.
Thanks. Wow, folks. Craig from Craig's Easy Pawn absolutely hooked it up for me with 3 first scores of the day. Let me show you guys. First of all, I should probably let you guys know that right now my car is packed with inventory to sell once I get to Southeast Game Exchange. So all of this stuff hopefully will not come home with me, but these 3 games are. Didn't end up getting all 3. He did, check this out, 15 on Jurassic Park, so that's a $20 profit. $10 on Xena Warrior Princess, and it's in nice complete shape. So that's another $16 profit. And then he put a price on Miss Pac-Man for $10, but actually since I bought the other 2, I was kind of on the fence about it since it's only worth 11, but he said he would do 8, and he was such a nice guy, so I went ahead and just pulled the trigger anyway. So we're starting off today with a massive $39 in the Switch budget, which I'm absolutely tickled by. Folks, I am in the parking lot of stop number 3 right now, and I have 2 concerns that I would like to share. The first one is that the stop is called Albert's Pawn, and I'm looking in the windows, and it's honestly looking kind of sparse. Now, I honestly can't really see great from here, so I really probably shouldn't judge, but the second one is that in the last Mission Switch video, I put out into the world that I was trying to get 10 games in a single episode, and I failed miserably. We came away with like 4. And so it's with a little bit of nervousness that I say again, that will be my goal for this video. At least, that's what I thought my goal was going to be at this point in the weekend. In reality, I had no idea I was about to have a shot at my most expensive Switch game grail. But given that we've hit 2 stops and our budget is at $40 so far, we're averaging $20 a stop, I don't know how likely it really is. Do these have like standard pricing or anything? Okay, yeah, looks like individual. Yep, the gut was definitely right on that one, but maybe we still can get 10 games today. I don't know. What do you think, Riff?
I think you're a failure. You have no friends. Your mom didn't tell you that you were adopted, and your dad doesn't love you.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so folks, I just pulled up to our last stop before the video game convention, and it might be the weirdest storefront I've seen. Look at this. Stop number 4 is the Westmoreland Insurance Building, and then you have to zoom in a little bit closer to see, oh, Nerd HQ Comics, Toys, and Games. I've never been to this one before. Hopefully they have a decent video game selection. If not, I do have one ace up my sleeve that I could pull if need be. Alright, so folks, coming in here, there are 2 things that I'm noticing right off the bat. One is their game selection is fantastic. Really excited to dig in over here. And the second thing is they've got a lot of sealed games on these shelves. I'm seeing that a lot of them are priced as sealed, right? Like that wouldn't normally be $19, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sealed stuff on these shelves that still has some solid margin on Amazon. And folks, who has 2 thumbs and a low IQ and loves sealed shovelware? This guy. The good news is, after about 20 minutes of scanning stuff, I did finally find something that works for my margins. Looks like on this sealed up game, which is priced at 14, we'll be able to make about another 14 on it after fees. The bad news is, so far, this is the only one I've been able to find, and also the AC is broken in here, so I'm sweating like a hog. And also, I just found their Switch section, which you could say is not the beefiest I've ever seen. They've got 3 complete games, Terra Trilogy, which granted is very cheap, Skullgirls, which is not one that I see too much, and then Power Rangers also, which honestly is for nerds. Nerds! Nerds! So unfortunately, not a ton of profit to be found here, but they do still have a great selection, and if anybody out there is looking for a Wii Sports bowling accessory bag, well, now you know where to come. Alright, so folks, Nerd HQ in Johnson City, inside the Westmoreland Insurance Building. Totally a hidden gem, way bigger on the inside than I expected. Even though I'm only coming away with 1 game, the owner was super nice, would highly recommend it if you are in the area. Now, the addition of this Wii game brings our total Switch budget up.
Get it?
To $54 total. Now, I do have a plan for the rest of this video, and as I explain that, I also want to give you guys an update on our Shopify store. Shopify is an all-in-one commerce platform that allows anyone to sell goods, whether you're online, in-store, or across any social platform. Whoa. So whether you're full scale or still haven't made your first sale, Shopify is there to help you take the next step. And speaking of next steps, seamless transition, my next step is going to involve this little stack of Switch games here. Before Shopify, I had never really considered building an online store because I'm just not very good with like building websites or coding or any of that computery stuff. But Shopify's pre-made professional store templates, it's made it super easy for even someone like me to set up my online store. All right, people in the car next to me are staring, so we're gonna go ahead and move this production. All right, wow, this parking lot actually looks super dead. I wonder what... Oh. Anyways, Shopify made setting up our custom wholesale website, shopphoenixresale.com, super easy with their pre-made professional templates. And my mind is honestly still blown how they don't charge final value fees on goods sold. I save 10% on literally everything that I sell on Shopify. It's wild. Can you guess? By the way, can you guess what we're gonna do with these Switch games as I'm tantalizingly laying them out on the hood of my car? You can actually check out our 3rd batch of wholesale lots at the link in the description. And you can go to shopify.com/PhoenixResale to sign up for your own free trial. So thanks a bunch to Shopify for sponsoring. And now take a look, what do all of these 7 Switch games have in common? Anyone know? Any guesses? These are all games that came out of the Switch collection that I hand selected before coming here, because I really had no idea what the pawn shop situation down here in South Carolina would be like. These are all games that I would be totally happy to trade off 4 other games that are on our list that we don't have. None of these games were actually on our Switch list, but for one reason or another, I would be totally happy letting go of all of them. For example, for some reason, I end up with 2 of It Takes Two, and ironically, to play the game, it only takes 1. Squish is a multiplayer game that I tried to do, and I have to be honest, it just wasn't that fun. And then the rest, I'm honestly just not that interested in. So going into the convention tomorrow, I have 3 goals. 1, trade away all our games. 2, find more stuff to flip and build our budget. And 3, find Switch games from the list. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Oh, am I sweaty? Am I sweaty right now? Boy, it is toasty. And folks, here we are at last, hour 1. This is the VIP hour of the Southeast Game Exchange. I'm gonna head around, see if I can find any vendors that are negotiable this early, and we'll see if we can get some stuff moving to build that budget a little bit more. All right, so folks, I just found this booth, and my new friend Lacey over here just said the magic words, which are, everything is negotiable. And you guys may notice
That you're not wearing your microphone, and it's really annoying to adjust the volume every time you turn your phone from behind you to in front of you to the back to the person to you. It's very annoying and causes me a lot of extra time and money. You suck.
this is a lot of the stuff that I love to buy the most. We've got like complete first-party AAA games, Skylanders stuff, and these special edition DSs as well too. Believe it or not, these are going for crazy numbers on Amazon. We may be able to pick those up, and it may not actually take that many booths to build our Switch budget to the point where we could buy 5 to 10 games. We'll see. Do you have any idea? I saw these weren't stickered, these Skylanders. Do you know what you were wanting on these more or less?
Honestly, if you buy all of them, I'll give you a hell of a deal. 20 a piece on those, 40 a piece on every one of those.
Is it okay if I take a look and pop it open here?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this one's pretty solid shape. I could be at 220 if that's close enough.
Done.
All right, our first one, let's go. Would 100 do it on this?
Done.
How about 60 and 65?
Done.
Really appreciate you, man.
No
Thanks.
problem, man.
All right, so just got all this stuff. If only we could do like a little editor riff voiceover here. Oh, hey.
Hokely dokely, folks, this is looks like an orange creamsicle, and as you guys know, I'm always looking to cream things. This I got for $2.40. It was a little old lady dying of a very ill sickness, but I got her down to $20. This I put in my back pocket, and these games has people on it, and you know I don't have friends, so I buy people, and this last was a gift to my editor Riff. Hey Caleb, honestly, your channel sucks, and you're giving me this stuff as a gift.
He doesn't realize he just hit 100K, and I actually did get him a really nice gift.
Yes, you did, and I apologize. I'm sorry. I love you.
So folks, this is the absolute beauty of conventions. One booth in 4 3DSs / 2DSs and a game. I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit of mental math here. This was $16, so that puts us at so literally after one booth, we went from $54 budget to $300 to spend on Switch games, and I'm feeling much better about the day. All right, folks, check this out. This is one of those crazy inflated 3DSs that I can get crazy numbers for. Look at that. $544. The reason I bring that up is I just spotted one at this booth right here. I'm gonna have to take a closer look, see what the price is, and then see what we can get it for. And folks, literally as I was walking up to that booth to go check it out, a viewer, Andre, who I met last night, came up and handed me this bad boy, the Winnie the Pooh fanny pack. Dude, I just wanted to say thank you so much. A very thoughtful gift. You've got a WWE. The more obnoxious, the better with fanny packs. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, dude. It means a ton. Cool. Yeah, would you mind if I took, oh man, I thought actually that was a Majora's Mask. I'll have to look it up. But do you mind if I take a look at that Zelda 3DS? My friend Ty here is super cool and was willing to hook me up on the price on this one, but I realized as I was looking at it, it actually is the Hyrule edition, and it had a bit more condition wear than I can really tolerate for Amazon. We'll see if we can find anything else around here, though, that piques our interest, folks. Folks, I was gonna try to get this Super Nintendo Classic here. It's a good deal at $75, but apparently now on Amazon, it is restricted. It's just one of those random, delightful things that you get to deal with as an Amazon seller. Sometimes you just randomly can't sell stuff. All right, so folks, I was just looking around here trying to find some more flips at this booth, and Daniel comes up to me, a subscriber of the channel, and what did you say?
Said, hey, you found Breath of the Wild Master Edition yet?
One of our Switch Grails. Only, what, 3 or 4 remaining Switch Grails? You have one of them with you in your car. Can we go take a look at it?
Yeah, sure thing.
Oh my gosh, folks. I did not think that today would be a Grail day. Again, you guys saw I was planning on trying to get 10 Switch games, but wow, if we could get another Grail off our list, that'd be incredible. My heart was racing as Daniel took me through the parking lot to his car. The Master Edition of Breath of the Wild came out at the original launch of the game and included a map, carrying case, soundtrack, and a good-sized statue of the Master Sword. In my last 10 months of hunting for Switch games, I have not seen this game once because so few of this edition were made. I knew this game normally sells for over $1,000 and that my current Switch budget was only $300, but I didn't know what condition Daniel's would be in or how much he wanted for it. For those of you guys who don't know, Breath of the Wild is the game that was responsible for getting me back into gaming and collecting even as an adult. Took off, I would say 2019. I was a couple years late getting to the game. Oh, there it is, the Master Sword. Oh my gosh, it's in great shape too. I love to see that. The ultimate question though is, Daniel, what are you looking to get for this? Because it's definitely risen in price with the release of Tears of the Kingdom.
I could go for 800.
800? Okay,
yeah.
So you have a number in mind. Honestly, that's a very fair price. I'm not even gonna try to haggle you on that. I will be honest though, at this point in the video, I have $300 in the Switch budget. So
okay.
I've got to get back in there and hustle my butt off and hopefully get enough to eventually buy this from you in cash. I appreciate you thinking of me so much, man, and hopefully we can come to a deal.
Hey, sounds good.
Thanks. All right, so folks, the clock is ticking right now. I've got $500 to try to make up in Switch budget in order to be able to buy it. The problem is this entire afternoon, I'm gonna be selling at my own vendor booth, and Daniel's only going to be here today, so I've set an appointment to meet him back at the cafeteria in an hour and a half. The problem is I've literally never found that much Switch budget profit in an hour and a half, so the pressure's on. So folks, I was just hunting here at this booth trying to find some flippable items, and Peyton, rocking the Phoenix Resale hat, came up and you said you were looking to sell this Pokemon Stadium. Normally I don't mess with box stuff a ton, but what were you looking to get for it?
About 80.
80, man. If it's complete, that's a very fair price. Thanks a bunch. Yeah, I'll get you paid. By the way, folks, that's gonna be about $70 profit. They go for about $185 in that condition on eBay. I'm only factoring in $150 after fees, so 70 bucks added to the Switch budget, and I'm already at another booth here where I think I should be able to find some deals that will work well on Amazon as well. Holy cow, I am jazzed. All right, so folks, ended up picking up 6 Wii games from this booth here. They're only going to be like $5 profit a piece, but that's just enough to get us to a $400 total Switch budget. I've got to run back to my booth right now because another viewer hit me up and said that he's got some stuff to sell, so we got to go check it out. And folks, I am rushing back to the booth at this point because we have less than an hour before we have to meet Daniel again, so I'm really hoping that this ends up being a high dollar deal. Now folks, this viewer's name was Quentin. He was a super cool guy and gifted me this Darksiders Switch game, so when he asked for $220 for his Galaxy 3DS, I didn't even haggle him on it. Then we also settled on $55 for this stack of cartridges. All right, so folks, we've got stuff tucked in behind the booth over here. I'm gonna huddle down here. I just looked this up. I actually just sold one of these in very good condition on Amazon for $350, about $320 after fees. So this item alone, thanks a bunch to Quentin, is going to be $100 profit. Then in addition to that, we have nothing crazy here. We'll make $5 on Mario World, 10 on Banjo-Tooie, and then another 5 to 10. We'll call it 5 on Donkey Kong and 5 on Kirby's Dream Land. So I'm stoked. Our total Switch budget now is $525, but we've got just over a half hour left, so we've got to book it. Okay, so folks, I was just over at this booth. I forgot my camera, but this booth with the man in the killer Zelda shirt, and I picked up this sealed Michael Jackson The Experience. You can see it was 20 bucks. It's not in the best shape. And look at this, my internet literally just died, but after fees on Amazon, it goes for $50. That bumps us up to, what is it, Riff? $555, I believe? Okay, there it is, $49.87. Take that, Hank. He didn't get it on camera. He's making up numbers. He's not getting it. And folks, just as I was finishing up here, Sean came up and has a Game Boy Color and a 2DS XL. So on the Color, I could probably be at 45. Does that work for you? Sure. Okay, appreciate that. How would 160 be? 170. I'd do 170 for you. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. All right, so folks, word is getting out how much I love to buy handhelds. We're looking at probably 40-ish profit on this, and then another 20 on that, which puts us at just under $200 that we still need for it. But holy cow, the time is drawing near. Only got 20 minutes left. Well, folks, for the last 10 minutes or so, I'm honestly starting to get nervous. I'm really struggling to come up with this difference. We've still got a $195 budget to go. I've come to the booth of my friend Retro Wolf and see if he can work us enough deals to get us closer. All right, folks, so here's what the booth is looking like, and the man, the myth, the legend, Retro Wolf. Okay, so here's the situation. Okay, I'm trying to close a budget gap for one of my Switch grails. Something like this, I just bought one of these earlier. Might be able to work something there. Is this in there?
That is. Yep.
Okay, some of these special edition Xbox controllers too
We got this guy
can
right
go really
here.
well. Oh, okay, how much was that? 90? That's a pretty good deal, man. Dude, that could be really clutch. This could be the start of something beautiful. We'll see.
Success!
All right, well, folks, the good news is we did pick up this black 3DS for $90, and on Amazon, that's going to end up being like a $60 profit, which puts our total budget at $645 bucks. But the bad news is, folks, at this point, our time is up. I've got one more thing that may be able to save us. We're gonna go have to meet Daniel and see if maybe he would accept trade credit from the booth for the rest, because all of the stuff at the booth, I did buy it like 46% of price charting. So if we can get him interested in any of it, it could potentially work. I have a bit of a confession.
Okay.
I've only been able to come up with $645
Okay.
of the 8. As I made my confession to Daniel and looked at the disappointment deep in his eyes, I remembered that I still had one final chance to potentially close that gap. So I brought out my Switch games that I had brought from the trade shelf to see if he might be willing to accept some of them as trade credit. Unfortunately, he wasn't interested in any of these titles, but he did tell me he was looking for a couple Pokemon games and a Game Boy SP, and if I could go out and trade my games for one of those things on the floor, then he might be willing to accept one of those in addition to my cash. So I frantically bolted back out onto the vendor floor and actually was able to find a Pokemon Explorers of Sky and a Game Boy SP, but unfortunately neither of those vendors were willing to take my games in trade credit because honestly they just weren't worth enough. All right folks, this is the booth in question. I know they had an SP here earlier, but honestly, dang it, I think they might have sold it. Literally just when I was about to take off and go to another booth, look what I spied out of the corner of my eye. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. Ooh, that's tough though, 200 bucks. Oh, folks, ultimately it's just gonna come down to whether or not they have any interest in this stack as trade credit, which, I don't know. All right, we got our Upstate Games friend helping us out there, going to calculate some value for trade. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's gonna happen. We might have to find another avenue. All right, folks, they ended up coming back and saying this stack in 50 bucks, which is totally reasonable. That's probably about what it's worth. Right now, I don't have anything else. I've got nothing left in the tank. I was wondering, do you guys have any SP 101s that are in really nice shape?
Not really nice shape.
Oh, I mean, this might be my last resort at this point. 135. I'm looking to do some trade. Would you take a look at these? Okay, thank you, folks. This might be our best shot. We may have to rely on the goodwill of Daniel with this one. It's our last resort. Oh well, folks. I hate to admit this, but we still have all of our Switch games, and a viewer gave me a squeegee, which was amazing. They could only do 45 in trade credit for the top 2 value games. So at this point, it's been more than 20 minutes. I need to go find Daniel and just, I don't even know. We might not be able to do the deal. Oh, these cursed rules that I've set for this challenge. Why? All right, folks, so after much discussion, I'm on my way to get some hand sanitizer, get a bite to eat, and then start selling at my booth. He's actually going to be here the rest of the day, so he's gonna stop back by at like 3 or 4 o'clock. And I told him if I've done enough more deals with viewers to make up that $145 difference, there's still a chance that I could buy this thing from him today. I'll just have to take a little break from selling to do it. I'm just hoping that enough viewers come up that have stuff to sell. It's all gonna depend on that. All right, so folks, I've been selling at the booth here. You can see I've got all my stuff out for about a half hour, and we have our first deal that just came our way. And from none other than the mustache plumber himself. It's a me. Okay, sorry. All right, let's see. Anything? Okay, looks like this one's empty. This one. That's an old school channel reference. That's brownie points for that one, man. I appreciate that. I don't know. I feel like at this point I might have to. You've tempted me.
If you do, you're banned.
If you have any interest, I could do 10 a piece. And then the Jimmy Neutron inside, how about an extra 5? So 25 on those. So folks, budget update. We need 145 still. These, I actually just learned from someone in our video game reseller Discord that there's an Amazon listing for these, and I'll be able to make 20 bucks profit a piece on these. The sign up link to that, if you're looking to level up your video game reselling game, is in the description. And then each of these 3, I'll be able to make a solid $10 profit on after fees. I'm going conservative on these just because they're untested. All right, so folks, after that last purchase, we're at $730 in our Switch budget. And what was your name?
Greg.
Greg just brought this wagon full of stuff that he's looking to unload. This could be our moment. So we've got like a lot of limited run kind of...
That type of stuff?
Yeah. This one, I believe I could be at 20, 25, 15. Folks, we're closing in. After these 3, $60 profit, we only need $10 more. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Looking for exactly 10 here, pan only. Well, hey, I do appreciate the deals on these.
Absolutely.
Looks like we just have literally 10 more dollars to find, and hopefully we'll be able to. And folks, look what just walked through the proverbial door. Our favorite Nintendo handheld. You do have the charger. How would 50 bucks be? Is that fair? You don't know what you've done today, man. I appreciate it. This put me over the edge for a grail. Thank you so much. I am so stoked. All right, folks, so here is the aftermath of my afternoon selling video games from my booth. And the best news is Daniel is back.
Yeah.
You stuck around, and
Give me
dude,
another chance.
I've got good news for you.
Okay.
My Switch budget is currently $810. So I've got the
That's pretty
funds.
close.
It was 800, right?
Yeah, I'm just teasing you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Dude, you gave me a heart attack for a second there. I thought it was 9 or something. So you're able to bring it back in and I can cash you out?
Yeah, sounds good.
Dude, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing.
This is going to be incredible. Okay,
Yeah.
see you soon. All right, and folks, after a whole day of hunting for enough profit for this game, Daniel, my man, I appreciate this. This feels, it's so appropriate that so much like subscriber deals were involved in getting this grail, because I couldn't be doing any of this without the people that watch this channel, and especially you, Daniel. You really came in clutch today. I appreciate you a ton.
Sure thing.
Folks, normally this sells for like over $1,000. He's given it to me for $8 just as a bro price, and this is gonna have a place in my collection for a long time. I appreciate it a ton. Before I forget, let me get you paid, man.
That'd be nice.
Thanks. Folks, I can't believe after 8 months of hunting, I finally have the rarest version of my first favorite Switch game. I can't think of a better. That looks good. Weirdly enough, the last time I tried to get 10 Switch games for the collection in one day, it also was a brilliant failure that weirdly was a huge success. If you want to watch that video, check out this one right down here, and I'll catch you guys on the flip.